So something a little bit different today on my channel. I thought I'd take a look at the Masters of the Universe Origins Battlecat. Now this is the actual only Origins figure that I have currently in my collection. I did order him along with He-Man on Bargain Max, but unfortunately they had oversold on the stock they actually had. So I just got Battlecat, but I'm quite happy to have him. And this is something I didn't really have in my childhood. A lot of my friends had the Battlecat, but I did have a few He-Man figures, so it's quite cool to finally get a representation, and in a very much classic looking form, of Battlecat. The one thing I really do love is how they've put the eyes into the head crest, which you didn't have on the original toy. So it's a nice additional touch that they are trying to evoke. Now, the head crest and the saddle is like a really hard rubbery plastic, and it's just very plain, again mimicking the original Masters of the Universe Battlecat design, but it's really cool. The articulation itself is quite limited, but again, this is the whole point of this Origins toy line, so the jaw does move up and down, which it didn't in the original Battlecat figure. You do get some basic movement there on his, I guess, leg, front leg. They've got a single bend here, but it uses that new joint technology that we've seen in figures recently, and again it's the same for the back of the leg as well. It's just a single bend, but the joints themselves are really nice and tight, and even the tail is articulated, which is very cool. Now of course the main reason to have Battlecat is, like I've said, is to have a He-Man figure to ride on him, but until I have the actual Origins He-Man, the other one I have is the Ultimates version of He-Man, and to be honest, it really doesn't look that bad. He's a little bit bigger than he should be in terms of scale, but I think that looks alright, all things considered. But I'll still definitely be getting the Origins He-Man figure just to have that scale, and so it all fits really nice, but I definitely won't be getting rid of that figure because it's pretty cool. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take off the armour now from Battlecat. So we have Cringer, and it just pops off quite nice and easily there, and there's a little plastic strap underneath. Again, it's quite solid feeling, you know, that's obviously going to be a bit of concern, especially that little dot there. That's going to break in time, especially if you have children playing with the figures, but I think that's half the fun, isn't it? So let's have a look at Cringer. Again, he definitely echoes that big Jim tiger that the original Cringer was repainted from. And this is when you get to see all the paint detail that they have used, and it's done really well. Again, echoing that classic version of Cringer that we got back in the 80s. I love the way the eyes are painted. There's a nice shine to that paint that you can see is getting picked up on camera. It's done really well. I'm really impressed by this figure. When I was younger, I definitely did have a lot of He-Man stuff, but my parents did say that I had nightmares and the He-Man stuff just somehow disappeared. I guess I was just watching too much of that VHS with the Cat and the Spider and the Littlest Giant. But this is a line that I would definitely be interested in getting more figures on, especially He-Man, which I do have pre-ordered on Smith's, although they've just went and announced a delay on the figure. The bunch of. Of course, I did have to look at the fantastic box art because it mimics the classic Masters of the Universe box art and does it tremendously well. Yeah, you can see it's definitely done digitally now, but it's fantastic, and really is one of the things that sort of geared me to picking up not only Battlecat but eventually He-Man. Now, the art itself does fold into the box like you can see there. Now my son did try and bend it up, which isn't the end of the world because I'll probably end up recycling this box, but I may keep, you know, this sort of box art section. And I love how they have it continuing on the back there, again that classic looking art, as well as the figure instructions for Battlecat and the other toys you can buy. I really love what Mattel is doing with this line, and as I mentioned previously, it's definitely something I will look to explore beyond He-Man and of course Skeletor. Very much a surprise for me. I didn't really think that I would be interested in it, but I definitely am, and if you are a Masters of the Universe fan or were a fan when you were a kid like me, definitely investigate this line and see if there's anything that takes your fancy.